Inspired. LAKEY inspired.
Hey, if I wasn't scared to, no. Oh my god, we made it! We made it! We made it! Whoop, whoop! No, no, okay, we made it. Here, that's. Oh, guys, she came out the track! No! Oh! I already had done the. Oh my god! Guys! I am so going to have a cookie dough celebration ice cream after this. Good evening, everybody, and happy Monday. Today's been a really exciting day because it was Monday, so you know, busy Monday as always. But it was an exciting day because quite a few things happened. First of all, it was the end of my Series 1 last night, which was called Chasing Medals. And hey, Shortmaster, nice to see you again. So it was the end of my series. And I have finally gained the medals at Suzuka. So we've done it, we've gained all the medals, and we should be ready now to go on to a few new series. So I'll be talking about that a bit later, but today is a bit of a different format. Today we're going to be doing a sort of Q&A with my fiancé. He's gonna be asking me a question about the Series 1 and just for you to find out a bit more about me, about why I'm doing this and all that, really. Today was also really exciting because I got to speak to Gamer Muscle, and yeah, he's a guy that I've been watching, a sim racer I've been watching, so it's really exciting to see that I'm part of a really nice community. So yeah, I was really excited, and to be honest, I was a bit tired right before the stream because I spent so much time being excited today that, I just got a little bump of energy and then lack of energy. So just trying to get. Hello, happy Monday, Julia. Hope you had a good day. So today I'm not gonna be alone on the Q&A. And I'm now waiting for my partner to join me. Partner, would you please...
Do I get a round of applause? Oh dear, where's that cushion you promised me?
I hope...
Oh.
We've also hung the cat here just to annoy him because we do not support the same Formula 1 team.
Indeed.
What's the team you picked? Oh, that's right, you haven't picked yet.
It's not that simple, is it? Don't ask me to pick. I'll follow who I want. But I'm definitely a McLaren fan, and obviously I've loved Lewis since he stepped into Formula 1, and before that in what used to be called GP2. Yeah. So, anyway, let's get on with the show.
I think we should all comment in the chat that Jeff should not be picking McLaren, but he should be picking Mercedes, because that's what I've been telling him, but he just doesn't get the message quite clearly.
Well, we all know Lando Norris is the mem lord, so he's your boy. Maybe he'll watch this one day when he's doing his streaming.
Maybe will.
Maybe he will. Good old Lando. Anyway, should we get on with this?
We should.
Okay.
We should.
Okay. Well, what I promised my darling fiancée Thea here is a little interview session where I was going to be like a little chat show host and do a little interview format to give her a recap of hello Shortmaster.
He's taken over my channel.
I'm all the way back from Joburg. I've flown fresh in. I still haven't sorted my hair out from the flight, clearly. And I'm back off to Munich tomorrow, so no rest for me. Until then, I'm going to interview Thea. Yeah, I'm going to talk all night. This is my time. I'm on the camera now. You're in trouble.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm going to do a little interview of the Theamusante here. How do you say it?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify how you say it, because this is supposed to be amusante, which means amusing, and Thea, which is my name. I have an accent, so it is Theamusante. But it's okay if you just say something similar. Obviously, just don't go Theamusante because that will just not, that will be a no-no. That will be a no-no. So yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, I mean, yeah, thank you.
I know.
Toby. Yeah,
It's just trying to ruin my my life.
There's a lot of hair there. Anyway, so on with the show, and your first question for this evening.
What is it?
So obviously, congratulations on finishing the series 1 of Chasing Medals and getting 45 gold stars on 15 tracks from around the world, mostly in Europe.
Yeah.
Well done. Big challenge, and you've done incredible in 3 weeks, no less.
I'm happy.
Well done. So the first question, all the way back to when you started this, all that long time ago, 3 weeks ago, feels like forever now, right? What were your thoughts when you were going into this?
That's a very good question, Mr. Jeffrey. I did not have. Can we not zoom in like this on my face? This is not. I didn't. What? No, please don't do this.
Okay.
I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. I tried ACC and I really enjoyed it. So then we talk about starting a channel, and I wasn't sure if people would like to watch me because I'm really new to this, and the guys I've been watching online. So Jardier, I mentioned Gamer Muscle, and then I've also mentioned Jimmy Broadbent before, and these guys, they're just good. And
I've been doing it for a long time.
I was not good. Well, I was not. I'm still a green driver, so I didn't know if that would be. No, Toby, the Zoom is not blast. I didn't know if anyone would be watching me. I wasn't sure if anyone wanted to watch me.
So sure.
Yeah, I didn't know because I and then I thought, well, actually, a few days ago I wasn't too sure what. I wasn't too sure really about anything in racing. I didn't know anything in racing, and I got into motorsport, and I feel like I could actually be helping people to get into it. So maybe I can build a community which would be for people who, like me, just start, and then we could just grow together and start together, and yeah, just be together. Be my friend, please.
Okay, there we go. So you wanted a friend. That's cute. Okay, so moving on. What inspired you to do this?
This question are tough. Since I was 15, I always wanted to be on YouTube. I love creating content, and I also I'm just really ashamed to be showing you this. That shouldn't be here. So yeah. Let me just play with my screen around. I've always been into creating content, and when I was 15, I thought I could become a singer by singing on YouTube. So here is.
Listen to something else for a minute.
So here is a horrible video.
I'll just say.
Oh my god, I got 4,000 views, 5,000 views.
Well, there you go.
It was only 10 years ago, so you know I could
already
have had
YouTube
millions
famous
views.
before YouTube was even big. Amazing, ahead of her time.
I just thought I could become a singer, so I just thought I'd show you because if I do get somewhere,
Yes.
Oh yes, it's muted. If I do get somewhere, then no desktop audio. So if I do get somewhere one day, you'll probably be looking for whatever you can find. So this is me singing "Numb" with my brother, which plays guitar, and he's
Big up Lance, hello when you're watching.
Yeah, he's also amazing in IT. So he does everything: coding, guitar, you name it. He's the best. Do not put this cap on. So yeah, so I've always wanted to be a singer. No, not really. I wanted to create content on YouTube. So obviously I've updated my first video in 2009. I think that was the first year I did that. And I recently got back into it by doing a few fashion related video because I work in fashion, and that's what I thought I wanted to be doing. And recently I found a new hobby, And we spoke about it with Jeff, and he said actually this is something that's becoming quite trendy. There's not many girls out there doing it, and I thought, well, maybe I could do this, and I started working really hard on it, and I think that's working for me so far. I really enjoy making content. Making content, sim racing content.
Nice one.
That
Okay.
was a long answer to this.
It was long enough, right?
Yeah.
Indeed, yeah. It was a strong time for any. What was the thing? Boys were constantly just flicking the hair.
Boys, what?
The hair, the fringe, flicking the hair all the time. Was your brother doing that a lot?
Oh, my brother, yeah. When he was, but actually, I think you can probably see him doing this on the video.
It's real. Right. Okay. Moving on. So, what has happened in the 3 weeks since you started? I guess more of a life question, really, isn't it?
My life got really organized, really, to the point that if I'm not doing something in the slots of time that I've selected for it, then I lost my task. I've completely lost my task. So my life now revolves around my full-time job and my YouTube channel. So it doesn't leave me pretty much any time for anything else except the gym, where I still need to go at least 3 hours a week. I need to cook. I need to sleep. There's not much time left for anything else. Huh?
Your cat?
My cat. My cat liked to be on the rig as well. The seats. He liked to be around here, so it's cool. We spend time while doing other things. We can do things. Do two things at a time. It's good. So that's what happened really. In the 3 weeks, my life's changed in that way. I've learned a lot, obviously, about streaming in general, but is that going to be one of your next questions? Should I not say anything about that?
You can carry on.
Okay. So I've learned a lot about streaming, to be honest. Streamlab. Also being live on camera, finding things to say.
Reading chat.
Yes, please throw in a fan question. Jeff will be reading out.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so it's a lot of skills that people don't tell you about. Like, you have to understand how YouTube, I had an idea because I uploaded things, but I've done my research as well to find out what best title were to be picked, where the thumbnails that were attracting people just to see or pleasing people. And then do my research as well, because remember, I started 3 weeks ago. I did not know anything about motor racing. Actually, I motorsport
you knew
a little bit
but not a lot.
from watching Formula 1, but I thought I knew everything about racing lines. I was going onto the go-karting track like, I'm gonna beat you, Jeff, and I didn't beat him, and now I understand why, because I had no clue what an actual racing line should be, and I think I still have no clue. You keep telling me, guys, I'm going too wide. You're right, I'm going too wide. I've got my bad habits. I stay with my bad habits.
So the question coming in from Shortmaster is, because you've been driving so long, Theamusante, for Aston Martin, would you be renewing your contract with them or looking for new contracts? That question coming in. Thank you, Shortmaster. Obviously, there's been rumours that you're going to be doing a test drive this evening for Ferrari at Misano. So perhaps you could fill us in on those rumours.
I can't remember the exact term they were saying in Drive to Survive, but
Right.
I think it didn't really answer. They were asking him if it was rumours, and basically rumours are rumours. That's the answer to that question.
Fair enough. Rumours are rumours. You heard it here first, Shortmaster.
I have no interest in Ferrari. I must say, if there were to be a Renault team in a game, then maybe I could consider another contract. But at the moment, I'm really pleased with my Aston Martin. I love the sound of the engine. I think it just drives beautifully around the track. Jeff has tried it a week ago, I think, before he went to Johannesburg.
Yeah.
And he hated it. He just
It was
spun
different.
around. He was like, "What is going on here?" But
Yeah.
I just love it.
Yes.
It's a great car.
Good
I've tried yours. It's not that great.
There you go. Okay, so.
Great question, Shortmaster.
Yes, thank you. Moving on. What do you think has been the biggest challenges? What are the biggest setbacks you've had with streaming so far? What's been the biggest challenge?
I mean, you probably all know that the biggest challenge was getting anything to work. Streamlab likes to crash, so keeping your calm when this happen. What else? What else is there?
You know, it's been the hardest thing, all the crashing.
The crashing mostly, yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty hard. Everything else we've got, we've managed to do well with a little bit of equipment. Haven't been used much.
When you open the software, you guys don't see that, but you open the software and everything is completely. Well, you've ordered everything. This is in this place. This is in that corner. And we open Streamlab and it's all completely changed. And then the green screen as well was the chroma key. I think it's the filter was completely messed up. So yeah. It was definitely a challenge to get things organized. Obviously, I don't know if you realize that either, but there's different scenes. So when I'm racing, I forgot quite a few times to put myself in racing, which means I was in the bottom left corner, and you couldn't see my spot, my place in the race because I didn't change my scenes. So yeah, quite a few challenges that were more technical than anything else, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of.
So what have you learnt about racing in the last few weeks on track?
Ooh, lots of things. So the first thing I've just mentioned already is the racing lines. I thought I had to be on the curb and on the apex all the time. But actually, it's not always the case. You have to think about the maximum momentum that you get out of a turn. So sometimes you have to stay wider. If you're in the rain, you can't be taking the same line because it's going to be all slippery. So you have to take outside the line, be a bit wider again. And yeah, this very short turn, I thought I had to be really right on the inside, but actually you have to take a slightly different line to again have your speed momentum when you come out. So it wasn't what I thought. I did not know, and bless myself, that temperature had an effect on grip and tire pressure. But I had to learn that. I had no idea what was going on the screen the first time I played. If you watch my first few streams, you will know I am totally lost in the menu. I just keep pressing the wrong button.
Not anymore.
I've got Jeff next to me who's frustrating me because it's like, how is she so simple? It's right in front of her nose, but yet she can't see it.
But look what you've learned already.
And now I'm just like navigating around the menu. I think it's a bit overwhelming when you start playing if you haven't played a game like that. There's a lot of HUDs to be aware of and to understand. And still, I'm only playing with traction control now. I had no idea. I wasn't even bothered by it for the first few weeks because I knew that wasn't the important for me to focus on. You have to learn the basics first. You have to learn the racing line. You have to do clean laps, which is what it's really important to start with track competencies, because that's the most important before you start pushing yourself to the edge. You have to be learning about the track. I've learned about the radar, although I can't say I know too much about the radar. I still bump into people's car. So I've learned about the radar, or I'll pretend I know about the radar. And overtaking. I've learned about basic overtaking. I've learned pit lanes. Yeah. I had no idea at first there was pit lanes, so I had to stop into pit lanes. Obviously, I've seen some racing, Formula 1. I love Formula 1, and I didn't imagine I would have to do that. There's plenty of things for me to still learn. Obviously. When I'll be doing endurance racing, I think it's going to be a challenge to learn about.
Oh my god, your water.
About all the other things I need to learn. To be honest, I don't really know yet what was there to learn.
Yeah.
I'll learn on the go.
Cool. Okay, so what's been the hardest thing you've had on the track so far? What's been the biggest challenge over these 3 weeks? Learning all these medals, getting the gold, and starting in your racing. What were the hardest moments?
So
most difficult tracks.
Because you don't see behind the scenes, one of the track I complained the most was Silverstone, because Silverstone has quite a few turns that are very similar to each other, I find, and so I was just going around the track and my brain just didn't want to remember. It was a no-no, so I just kept going around for an hour and couldn't memorize it. So I complained a lot about this one, and I think I did sleep a lot around that one too. So that was one that I don't bear in my heart for multiple reasons, which I'm not going to go around. I think most of the reason is that he loves when he loves something just because I want to tease him. I'm not gonna like it. I must
So
show
lovely.
him.
Yeah, so Hungaroring was quite funny.
Hungaroring was really funny because I forgot to take the time accelerator, so I had to gain my medals in the dark. But I didn't give up. I didn't. No, I went through it. I did the medals.
Brands Hatch.
Brands Hatch. Oh my god, I don't even want to talk about that. This was the most frustrating racing experience I've ever had. I spun quite a few times. I had no idea what was going on. I was actually in the wrong. I think I restarted the race like 5 times, and I gave up. That was one of the only time I gave up. I shouldn't point my finger. I gave up.
Hold on. Do it again.
I gave up.
There we go.
I gave up.
Clip it.
Because there was something on that day. I just didn't have a focus, and also I wasn't aware enough of the radar. So there's plenty of occasions where I could have I think I forgot that I had gravel on my tires, so I just spun around because you can't go hard when you have gravel on your tires. And then a few other times I didn't pay attention to the radar. I didn't think, oh, Thea, there's other car on the road. Don't just go back on it.
Autofocus.
Yeah.
That's another thing we're learning about streaming. Anyway, main camera.
Any question? Any more question?
From the crowd.
From the crowd. Any more question, people? Actually, Jeff has more question, but I don't know what he's doing now.
There we are. Look. Oh no.
No, it's not.
Still blowing. Interesting.
Yeah, it's because you zoom mainly really close on my face.
Don't know what you mean. Anyway, hello everyone. Okay, and what have you enjoyed about all this so far in these 3 weeks? Oh, hold on, no. Let's go back to Shortmaster. We put one in. Hello SM, what have we got? So, how long did it take you to do a pull away without stalling the car? Do you remember when you first played the game? How long did it take you to actually pull out of the pit without stalling?
Oh, it was on Project Car though, I think.
And this one's even harder. It's a bit more sensitive, I think. I remember when you first played it on the PC. When the PC was over there, you didn't want to start it, I don't think.
I think, in all honesty, Shortmaster, I think Jeff and I must have had an argument because I must have screamed. Because sometimes when I get really frustrated, I just scream, like this, but like louder. And I said I must have said something like, what is this stupid game? And I just left it there, and he was like, no, you have to try. So then I tried, and after a few times I managed to start the car and went around the track, and I was like, woo, yeah! So I don't know how long it took me. Maybe 5 minutes. Not a joke. It was hard, and I think his entire family has tried over the Christmas period. He made everyone sit in the seat and try, and everyone was struggling. It was funny to watch once you've gone through it, but it's not funny when you do it yourself. Oh, you can. Well, yeah, it's funny if you know how to laugh at yourself. But I'm also learning how to laugh at myself.
Indeed. Another question from the audience here for Mr. Adewoye. Interesting one. We're going to touch on this later, but just wanted to find out really, what advice would you give right now to other girls getting into sim racing and motorsport?
Don't be afraid to share, to have a passion that you think is only a boy thing, because that's what I thought at first. I thought, oh, people are going to judge me because I'm a girl and I don't know much about it. But actually,
people still will.
People will, and then what do you care about what people think? As long as it makes you happy and you enjoy
it, does it?
Yeah. So we did talk about this when we first started, because Jeff mentioned what happened if you don't like the comments that you read. What happened if they tell you, oh, you're a girl, you don't know anything about this? Well, yes, I had a comment once on Instagram because my account is public, and actually, like, it's not affecting me now. It affected me at the time, and I think it's stupid to have let it affect me when really it's just someone really sad somewhere that wanted to say something negative because he's not very happy with himself, and that shouldn't have an effect on me. So I think they shouldn't be scared of going for it. If you have a passion, if there's something that really passion you, just go for it. Just go with it.
And how would you get into it, do you think, at the moment?
How would I get into it? Sim racing is a good. You can start sim racing for a fairly cheap setup.
There's lots of stuff on YouTube to watch.
There's a lot of it on YouTube.
Twitter to follow.
You can watch
Instagram.
me. You can watch me for a start. I mean, I'm just a green driver. There's a lot of people you should watch. I mention them in my stream all the time. So if you want to get into racing, then Instagram as well is really good. There's a lot of different GT races and women GT races and rally races. Impressive number of rally races that are women. You should follow them. Twitter as well is a good. But Formula One is great as well. You learn a lot. Just watch Ted. That's his name, yeah. Ted is just so nice. He's presenting skills. He was explaining about the DAS the other day in he explains it well. Sit on a chair with the two wheels in front of him. Show you the toe, how it's moving the toe. The DAS steering wheel. So it's great. Formula One teaches you a lot about racing line, about grip, about so get into Formula One or GT racing races. The commentator, they will help you. Their comments are really helpful.
Cool, nice one.
Hashtag do you.
Yeah, we have to start that hashtag, I think. Toby.
I think Toby love a hashtag.
Obviously, people talk a lot about trolls. It's a very kind of modern phenomenon, the fact that you can hear everyone else's thoughts now, whereas before you wouldn't have spoke to many people. Now, through these kind of platforms, you can hear a lot of people's voices and opinions that aren't very important to anyone. I can't really imagine anyone in a very happy place and is very sort of excited with life is sitting there deciding to send stuff like that to someone else. So if you are sending those kind of things, then I guess it's just something for them to work out rather than you. It's not your issue, should we say. There you go.
And it makes me sad because I would never say something to anyone.
It's sad that people feel that way.
If I say something on the internet, it'd probably be
It's not a great thing, unfortunately, but I guess that's part of life, and it's something we can improve in the future. We love Ted's two-wheel car explanation. Yeah, do you remember seeing that?
Yes.
Sitting on his chair?
Yes, that's what I was mentioning, Toby. He sat on that chair. I don't know what he said at the end of the video, but I think he was hilarious. He said that he was actually enjoying this setup.
Lineup, yeah. He's a bit high in the car, but
Yeah, Ted is great. Ted is
should
just
have got a lower
amazing.
seat. Should have sat on the floor.
You know how to make a joke in the middle of a serious explanation.
What else have you enjoyed?
Oh, what else? What else I've
These
really
guys.
enjoyed? So I can't believe the amount of support I've received from friends like Julia and Toby. They've been tuning in almost every night. I can't believe, guys. If you start your YouTube channel, you can believe that I'm gonna be here every day watching you, commenting
While streaming.
While streaming, yes. I'll have to tell my viewers, if I do have any viewers, to just have a break, have a Kit-Kat while I go and help my friends, because I've received more support from you than my own family. Flory, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, and I know you're supporting me as much as you can. My family is French as well, so it's not very fun to watch an hour streaming in a language you can't understand. So from friends, family, and also from viewers, like Shortmaster, you've been here every night. You obviously, I don't know, it makes me really happy to know that I'm gonna go online tonight. I'm gonna speak to Shortmaster, and who knows, there's been a few as well, Fofi and Ray Taylor,
Coffee,
quite a few people. Yeah, Julia, start streaming. Magic, my
brother's been on as well, Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah.
Steve and Laura. Laura. Sorry, I had to pronounce
Laura.
that. She's Lithuanian, so.
Yeah, Julia's going to start streaming soon, then we're all done. Right, so.
She's going to stream in Chinese, by the way, because she speaks Chinese. Julia's clever. You should do it, Julia.
Okay, should we go on to the next question, shall we? What is it? Okay, so. I guess we can move on to some more fun stuff about racing. What's been your favourite track in this Chasing Medals series? Obviously getting to know the tracks and just sort of understanding racing. What's been your first impressions?
So, solely based on my experiences during the game, and not really... So I started saying it was Barcelona, but if I think about Barcelona now, I don't feel the same as I feel about Misano. Misano's short, Misano's sharp, Misano is cute. It's in Italy. It's green. It's just a cute track. And also,
Playing
I've
for the
had an
audience,
amazing race at Misano. So
Yes, you did.
it just
And
it just
qualifying.
stuck.
Qualified on pole.
Nice, yeah. So
Yeah, it's a
so
great- it's a great
it kind
stream.
of stuck, to be honest,
Watch
because
the Misano stream if you've not seen it. It's a lot of fun.
because of the experience, it stuck. Misano, and I if there wasn't the corkscrew in Laguna, I'd probably say Laguna. If there wasn't in Spa, the Eau Rouge turn, I'd probably say Spa. Spa's always been one of my favorite. I love to watch Formula One Spa. Yeah, but Eau Rouge, that's the problem. It's just the one big problem that's in the middle of the track, really.
Yeah, thank you, Shortmaster. I do some kind of presenting in the real world, so almost there. But yeah, that's why I'm off to Munich tomorrow. Anyway, back to the chat. Your worst track. What was the hardest one to get medals on? What was your least favourite track? Or your hardest one to go fast on or race on?
My hardest track. I feel like I've already answered that earlier with the Silverstone.
Yeah.
But no, hardest track. Zolder.
Yeah.
Yeah. No need to explain. Actually, I've got. I think I've got a video, a moment that I've saved for you where I'm struggling to. No, let's close this. Actually, you can't see me anymore, can you? Have you changed the?
I haven't.
Oh my god, guys, this is all going nuts. No.
Your hotkeys.
What? I don't want this on my face.
Oh, it sounds like you got a new sim racing fan in Jules.
But yeah, it was a pleasure. Got me very into the whole sim streaming racing. Oh, glad I get one person to join in.
So far. Well, Jules,
So
obviously I'm
far.
going to help you build a rig. And
Yes.
then, you can get streaming. And obviously you can then stream and then you two can do like a racing league and build it up online and, yeah, have your own racing team. Pink Panthers?
Yes, please, Julia. We're just going to race against boys and we're just going to show them. Julia's really good at shooting games. So I'm sure she would get into racing like illico presto. She'd be amazing. So yeah, Zolder was one of the hardest track. You can see already the face I'm making, which is I'm not enjoying this face. Well, maybe it's a tough face. So
Ray
you've got
Taylor in the chat there.
Yeah, exactly. Ray Taylor I was mentioning earlier that's been watching or popping in and out. So you've got this chicane at Zolder, and then you've got this sorts of like bends where you have to go really fast. And I never knew where to brake because I just couldn't find a proper braking point, even though there's a big orange thing here. And I kept going wide. There you go. You're gonna see me going wide. I don't know if you've been watching on that evening. You know that I've spun out so many times at this time. So that's definitely one of the track I've enjoyed the less because I found every turn.
And you had to do it twice, technically.
Yeah. I felt like my medals as well. I kept going around and spinning out. It was tough. There's something about this track that I'm not quite getting yet. So yeah, Zolder is definitely a tough one. What am I?
Do you agree with the team idea?
Girl power, yes. Brands Hatch I mentioned earlier. This is one of the time I crashed. One of the time I had to restart the race. Look at my face again. This is
messed up big time. Come on, come back on the track. Come back. Oh no! All this
coming
and I
back.
came back.
Ooh.
And I could have saved that, but then I'm just.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Again, here I was taking the racing line awful. I should have gone wide and then.
Bit of concentration.
A lot's changed, right?
Yeah. I feel. Yeah, I managed to. There you go. So I'm coming up the track. And here, like, I don't even know. So I had to.
The good old days.
Yeah.
The early days. When was that? The 6th of February. Wow, that was
One of the
22.
first tracks.
No, not 22. 18 days ago.
Yeah. It's been 3 weeks. So yeah.
That was very early on. Okay.
Was that it?
Yeah, that was it. That was it. You got any more video to share from that? I think that was it.
Well,
wasn't it?
I had quite a few videos I could show you guys, but you've seen them obviously. So
Yeah.
this is the Orange, one of my biggest achievements, going into I think 5th gear. So I wasn't going into 5th gear at first, but then I understood that I can brake in the middle, and that made me feel so much better. So starting the Orange in 5th gear and going into 4th gear was an achievement because I started in 3rd gear, going for it.
Oh, you're gonna hate this
was-
question. Great question from Shortmaster. Thank you. Theamusante, what is your most disliked track, pit lane, entry, or exit? Now, before you start, I'll just say that she's not done much entry, to be honest, because she's only been doing short stints, and normally leaving the session return to garage. So you haven't really done pit entry
I've
yet.
done a few.
You done a few, yeah?
Yeah, like Laguna Seca.
Oh, because you had to do a pit, didn't you? Yes. There's a few penalties
I didn't even
involved.
finish the race.
So she knows one or two
I had-
entry, but she definitely knows all the pit exits,
I had 2
and
minutes.
she definitely hates a few of them. So
Yeah, I can't remember. I think Monza I had to
there's
go
one you
in.
definitely hate. Come on. Think
So
about it.
without any thoughts onto this, Laguna Seca is just one of the worst
And
because
then-
it's long and you have sand either way. So you're starting the race. If you haven't done it right, you're already in trouble because you've got gravel, sands all over your tires. So that's number one. Number two is why is it so long? Why? Just why? You're
Yeah,
just
they have a lot of
this
space
is-
there for different pits, so they have to cover it all.
it's
I think in
No.
Formula 1 they slip out earlier, but
it's just a bit crazy. I will be watching Formula 1, and if they come out early, I will give a call to Blancpain and ask them what is going on. Why why is it so long? I think it puts people off because obviously when you crash, then you have to go to the pit lane and then you have to do it all over again. So you're losing like 2 minutes of your time just going up and out. That's a great question, Shortmaster. I think you must have heard me complain a lot to
Yeah.
ask this question.
yeah.
I do
Not
complain a
chatting
lot.
about the exits. There's some exits you disliked, I think, in the past. Which one do you like? I can guess.
Which one I like? Ooh, I can't remember. No, there's one that's really, really short. Which one is it?
Nürburgring, I think, is literally
Nürburgring?
just out and on.
I love when Bathurst I think is quite short. It's
Yeah,
literally-
pretty much. Come around the
yeah.
corner.
So anything that's really short, like when you have the sign straight
And
away.
Misano's pretty short, and
'Cause-
get around the corner and you're in.
Yeah, Misano is quite short.
Mm.
Anything that's short, but for some reason Bathurst is the one that struck me first, even though it's a little bit longer.
Okay, so moving on. Before I feel a sneeze coming.
Woo!
Woo! Check that one out. Live sneeze. What have you learnt about motorsport?
What have I learned about motorsport?
Hmm.
So many things. So many. I don't know where to start. That's just a bit. So I've said a few things earlier.
You've learnt
Well,
about different
yeah.
formulas, you've learnt about different tracks.
Formulas.
Yeah, you've been watching GT3, Formula 1, you've seen other
I've
things.
learned about cars, but I knew a bit about cars before. So like, I tried Project Car before, so I knew I loved to drive LMPs.
Yeah.
Yeah. LMPs.
I'm gonna blow my nose.
And I said to Jeff that was my favorite. And then I got back into Project Car the other day and drove LMP and then a GT3, and I was like, okay, like, I'm into GT3 now. That is it.
Well, it's just ACC really, isn't it? It feels so good.
But I'm really, really into Formula 1 as well. So I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have to try a game soon of Formula 1. Yeah.
I think it's coming.
So I've learned a bit more about car and different type of racing. There's so many different type of racing. Jeff was asking me earlier maybe if I wanted to try other type of racing. So there's obviously oval racing, which I watch, but I'm not as interested in because it's just going around in circle. Of course, it asks a lot of. I'm guessing they're experiencing a strong G-force because they're going around. No?
Not massive.
No?
Well, it's strong, but
Maybe
not
I'm gonna-
killer.
So I just.
I'll tell you one thing, right? When something looks so simple,
Mhm.
you can imagine how hard it is to be better.
Well, you have to be really consistent, I guess. Going around, I think I would lose. I would lose interest. You know, when you go around a track, you've got a few different turns. You have to be consistent, but that's different. It's not always the same thing.
And using the tactics
got a
of
bit
drafting
more
on them is very
variation.
important. Sitting behind someone is crucial.
I find it really dangerous as well. He's always watching crashes of car on YouTube because
Not
that's,
always,
that
they
really,
happen.
He really enjoys that. So yeah, I've seen before I even started racing. I've seen so many Nordschleife car crash.
Oh, the
I
public.
didn't even know
The
what
good old
it was at
public
the time.
binning it on the Nordschleife, getting happy.
Yep.
With the loud pedal, yeah, that's what it's
Telling me
like.
one day it was me. It would be me. So yeah. So that I've learned about the tracks. Obviously, I've got them printed here. Oh, these are all my my track that I've done. So I'm that's one of the things I'm so proud of, is that I've learned so many track, and I know what turn is
15.
coming. I know what gear I need to be on. I kind of know the breaking point. Okay, maybe I don't know all the breaking points because I could be on a much better lap time, but to be honest, what was it that I've done Bathurst with him the other night, and he told me where I could improve. And mama, I improved by like 5 seconds from my
You
time.
can get faster than that as well. You're getting faster every day, gorgeous. You really are.
So
You're getting
that's
faster every day.
so yeah. That's something I've learned about racing, the tracks, and how cool it must be to be a track builder. Which is why he loves Scalectrix, so he can build tracks around. But I didn't quite get it, so maybe next time he play Scalectrix, I'll get involved. I'll be like, we need a chicane here. We need a
Which
chicane.
feeds onto a straight.
Oh my
and
god!
at the end of it, you need a hairpin.
We're just gonna transform our house into a massive track, and are we gonna call it the? No, we'll think about this later.
Yeah.
But
it'll be live streamed.
The Baboonu track.
It'll be live streamed. It'll be important.
Oh.
I've got GT3 cars, remember?
You do?
I watched them last time.
Oh, yeah. We played with
they're
Nix.
tough. Yeah, they're really
Great.
difficult ones.
We're going to race GT3 on a Scalectrix.
GT3 Scale Electrics, how about that? Okay. Yeah, not far off Shortmaster. Dedication in anything is pretty good. Normally, winners don't quit and quitters don't win. So, yeah, I think if anyone took the inspiration from Theamusante and kept racing and doing things in a way that helped them, to learn each track properly, because you can practice, but there is also bad practice that is possible. So you can learn bad things and bad habits in any kind of sport or things like that. So
don't be afraid to be bad at something when you're starting something new. Don't be afraid, and don't forget that it's okay to make mistakes as long as you enjoy it. As long as you won't enjoy the mistake that much. What you enjoy is doing what you're doing. The mistake is you have to learn how to deal with it.
And what do you want to learn next about all of this?
What I'm going to learn next?
What do you want to learn next?
I'd like to learn more about racing, because I feel like
you haven't done a lot yet.
I want to be doing online racing. I feel at this point where I've started talking to a few other gamers online, and I would love to race anyone that's watching me. Shortmaster, if you fancy a race, for example, Toby, Julia. I mean, you could be doing
Gamer
it from.
Muscle.
I don't know. And yeah, I've been talking to Gamer Muscle today, so I would really like to go into one of his races.
Yeah, he does a lot of
cool.
online sessions.
Yeah.
And thanks for the shout outs today, Gamer Muscle on the stream. It was really nice.
Yeah, it was really nice.
To hear him talking about it.
I got really hyped up eating my dinner. Woo!
So yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And you should check out his channel as well, Gamer Muscle, for sure. He's been doing it a long time, and his content is really good. So
he's like a superstar on YouTube. I know he keeps saying, "Oh, I'm not really a big YouTuber," but really, yeah, cool. He is.
So moving on from that, then, what are the long-term racing goals, Theamusante? Where do you want to be?
Oh.
You started at the bottom, fresh, learning it all in front of everyone. We've all seen the journey already. 3 weeks. What's next? Where do you want to go to? What's the end goal?
Shortmaster, you know so much stuff. Have you got like a Google encyclopedia with you, and you just come out with facts and quotations? One day that'll be me. I'll just come out somewhere in a discussion, and I'll just
start reading books.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So, maybe for later. I don't have time with the streaming.
There's a lot going on. Audiobooks while you're driving. Audiobooks.
True. I should do that.
The long-term racing goal. Where do you want to get to? What is the moonshot? When you
Well, I said that to you the other day, and you kind of laughed.
Oh, did I?
You said it's fine. It would take me around 2 years, but Gran Turismo Championship, not Gran Turismo, but something. I don't know. ACC do they have championship?
What would you be doing? Well, iRacing does some pretty high-level stuff, I guess. GT are doing the best stuff because they've got obviously GT Sport, the game on PS4, Gran Turismo Sport. Obviously, we'll grow up Gran Turismo. They have an official partnership with the FIA, who of course run all motorsport worldwide, and they do their series around the world. And everyone can play on their console to compete and qualify. And I've watched some people doing it online, and it sounds incredibly intense. You have to put a lot of work in to get anywhere, and you can imagine the amount of people that are trying to get into it. So the level must be extremely high. So yeah, there's that on GT Sport, and then other races and other series. You've got very kind of online competitions really. I think it's only going to grow. It's only going to get more interesting as the technology improves.
Well,
As the experience improves for both you and obviously everyone watching and things like that over time, and the fact that it becomes easier to watch it, I think these things are only going to grow really. And when people talk about environmentalism and things like that and being green, obviously this is infinitely greener than the kind of things we see in Formula 1, where unfortunately they have to move a circus around the world. So I only see this growing in popularity really. So you want to be racing at the top? Is that the idea one day?
I definitely want it to be more sustainable. That's
Right,
a
yeah,
good
fair
point
enough.
you're making, because obviously I work in fashion, and I think the fashion industry need to move to more sustainable ways. And some companies like H&M, for example, have really led the way forward. But there's still a lot of companies that need to make more effort into that. And yeah, so that was one of the things that was not bothering me, but I really want people to change their mindset. So doing something that's more sustainable. I still work in fashion, but I have a more sustainable position, I guess. My job is a little bit more sustainable the way my at the moment my company is doing things. So yeah, doing sim racing is very sustainable in that way. I really agree with that. And then I lost the
Yeah, you gone now?
yeah,
No. Okay. So
because you spoke and that was really inspiring, and I was just like, oh yeah, that's so true. You're right, Shortmaster. It is great. It just put me to sleep sometimes.
she's so kind
Just
all the
joking.
time.
Oh,
So,
baby.
yeah. Okay, so as you disappear into the chair, there you go. So, the next question. So your long-term racing goal is to reach the top, right? That's an idea.
Yes.
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look, it's
Or-
possible to anyone. That's the reality.
Yeah. I just see something exciting. Be part of a, like, if Julia get into racing, and then we've got this team, and we don't know, we get to travel to places and be like doing conference in front of girls and be like, get into motorsport racing. I don't know. I don't really see where it's going really, but I want it to become a big community.
You want
and
something like
important.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
want it.
that's great. It's nice. It's nice to have a goal, a dream, something you want to do, and if it, yeah, that's an interesting one. Will it all become electric? I don't think in our lifetime, so you don't need to worry about that. Of course, electric's going to get more and more popular, but there is definitely a theatre involved in spectacle. Certainly for people that are there at the track, and that's obviously the noise that you get. And I think obviously electric racing will miss that. It's certainly going to get faster and faster. Probably to the point where I'm sure it would probably be faster than what Formula 1 could do on its own, almost, strangely. So it'd be interesting to see sort of how that evolves over time, really. And then, Toby, you kind of asked a similar question. What's going to be bigger in 25 years' time? Formula E, esports, or Formula 1? Do you know Formula E is the electric ones, right?
I
and
know, yeah.
Esports, Formula 1. Which one would you say out of those three in 25 years' time? If we looked at the future, the year 2045, I'm going to be 27, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
Well, I certainly look 27.
Right.
Yeah, I know, I'll try. What will be?
More. That's difficult to say, because I think we human beings are quite stubborn in our ways, and I think that Formula 1 racing will still be in 25 years. No, it's going to be E racing, Formula E, electric cars.
So you think Formula E will be bigger than
Yeah, of
Formula 1
course,
in 25
because
years?
look,
What about esports?
in a few years' time, we start having taxes. Taxes. Yeah, taxes. No, you can't be
All
selling
sorts
your
of taxes.
diesel. In a few years' time, you won't be able to sell your diesel, or you're gonna be. I can't remember what the rule
You're a bit
is.
of dry. Don't start the engine.
Basically, it's gonna be very difficult to own a diesel especially in London. In a few years' time, it's gonna be a nightmare. So gradually, I think things like the government is going to put into place things that are going to make it hard for people to have an actual normal car, and then we're going to gradually forget about what a car was, a petrol car, and then we're going to just get along with it and be more sustainable and have Formula E.
Yeah, I mean, you normally find there's technologies we don't even know yet, which will be prominent in the future. There's a lot of talk about hydrogen cell technology, which seems to be very efficient, and a mix of both. And I guess really, if you're going to get into deep chat about the future of mass transportation that could happen and how that reflects motorsport. Well, I think motorsport used to reflect transportation, but I think in the future it won't. Motorsport will simply reflect what experiences we want. And so that will be some with a loud old combustion engine. You know, classic cars from the 50s and 60s and even older will still be incredibly interesting to watch race in 50 years' time, 100 years' time. I guess there'll just be less and less of it, is the reality. And then obviously in the future we'll have other technologies which takes racing to another level, just like Formula 1 has over the last 50 years, got faster and faster. No doubt in the future there'll be something for that. Drivers always want to push on the limit. It'll probably in some way get safer as well somehow. But certainly it'll be, obviously the more safer it gets, the more interesting it could get with the speed and things like that. I think the limits of the human body are probably going to get tested by technology soon enough in terms of what you can handle going around a track at what speeds, braking limits, things like that. You know, if you brake too hard, all your insides will pop out. So yeah, maybe we're getting there. And then you got another question there. What is it? Esports. Could you think there'd be a dedicated league for women in esports sim racing? Would you want that?
I think they should be already.
You think?
I think, yeah. Yeah, I think so. Someone was asking me in the Gamer Muscle chat earlier if I thought there was what advantage he was saying between like if men had an advantage over women because of their strength, and I thought I have the advantage over some men. I sit in the gym, so why would I not have an advantage behind the wheel? I don't think it's about that. I think it's also about skills. So really, if a woman is really motivated, why would she not be better than a man? I don't think it's like boxing. Definitely.
Well, there's certainly no physical limitations, I don't think, in racing. Even in motor racing in the real world, I mean, it's tough and tiring, but anyone who's fit enough is able to kind of, you know, do what they need to do on the track, really, I think. So I just think there's just such a lack of exposure for women in society. Certainly, you know, in the last 20, 30 years, it's been getting better. But if you think about people that are of that age now, when they were young, these opportunities weren't so prominent. You know, there's still a lot of stigmas in societies that are changing all the time. And certainly for younger girls now, watching people like you on YouTube, it's going to be a lot easier to say, hey, that looks interesting, let me try that. Why not? Yeah, it's all fun. We only do it because it's fun.
Yeah, I didn't have the exposure when I was growing up. None of my parents or in my family, anyone was into racing. So we had Formula 1 on TV on Sundays. Sometimes I saw a glimpse of it, and we love Schumacher in France.
Sorry, Schumacher?
Schumacher. I call it Schumacher because actually his name is Schumacher, I think, because that's how you pronounce it in German, but you guys say Schumacher, so I just get along with it. So like in France he was really loved. I just knew a bit of it, but I'd never been really exposed into it, and my parents never took me to go-karting. The first time I went go-karting, I was 25 or 26. It was with him in Spain, and I really enjoyed it, like far too much. So I had no idea before that what racing was. Never played a game. It was
Dedicated Women's League will grow the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, the simple reality is that women in this sport in particular won't be at the same level as men because of the lack of exposure growing up. So less people simply are in it, are inspired by it and work in it. So in that respect, if you give women the exposure on their own and something to aspire to and certainly be able to compete at least, and let's face it, you know, people will still want to watch it, and you know, more than half the globe is women, so it'd be nice if more of them were interested.
Yeah, I think it's also quite an expensive things to be doing. Like if you want to be racing, you have to go-kart, and you know, go-karting.
Motorsport is not cheap. Certainly normal motorsport. But obviously, sim racing, you could argue in some ways has cheaper barriers.
Well, it's a small investment, but once you've invested, you can do it. You can do it for a fairly cheap price. When you can keep the same setup for a year or 2 or 3, and then it's not going to completely go out, be obsolete. So you can still race. I think it's a lot easier nowadays to get into something like that than it was before. And you can see, for example, Pierre Gasly and Lando Norris and all the F1 drivers, they are sim racing, and they're saying that it actually helps them a lot because they can practice on the track without having to go to the track. And yeah, so you can get into racing before get into racing, if that makes sense.
Okay, so the community, how proud are you of this?
So it's a small community, but I'm very proud of it. We've got a few people going on. I can't believe how many subscribers I got into a short amount of time. I think we said with Jeff we wanted to get like 10. 10? Did we say 10?
We said up to 10, yeah.
10 in a month. And we got a lot more. So I just want to say thank you to everyone, and I hope you enjoy the content. I hope I haven't bored you too much with today's talk. Tomorrow we're back on hard racing, so don't worry about that. Yeah. Obviously I want to grow this community, and I'd like more women into it. We've gone through this now. So yeah, I'm really hoping that that we can grow this community, get racing together, be positive and encourage each other in all sorts of ways. If you need encouragement in your health life, if you need encouragement reading a book, like I wanna be positive.
Because sometimes you need some too, right?
Yeah, I just feel like I found lots of friends online, and that just makes me feel really warm. I wanna make everyone else feel warm.
Lovely. Okay.
Not that easy nowadays to make friends.
No, certainly.
So having a community like this online where people share the same passion is incredible.
Cool. Okay, so just sort of moving on to some of the last stuff here. Your best bits.
Oh, my best bit.
Do you want to show some of your best bits quickly? You have some of your highlights from the racing in the last few weeks. You got 1 or 2 bits you want to show quickly? Yeah, should we do that?
Yep.
Okay, let's have a look. Go on then. What you got?
Spa. Oh, no. Spa, I just showed it. You can close that.
Okay, so
You
we can
can
close
close that.
this one. Which one do you want to show?
I'm not sure.
Misano?
Yeah, Misano.
What's this
my
bit?
overtake.
Here's the overtake at Misano. So she qualified in pole for this, and then on the start line, a bit slow on the start, went to second place, kept it neat and tidy, followed first place for a while, and then coming into turn 1, lovely pressure on the inside, and then ran the outside of turn 2.
What a stress.
There's book cover. From a nobody to an ACT female.
That's
That's
a great
it.
title.
That's how it's going to go. And again, look, you can see on the right hand side the chat from everyone was really nice. Foffy and Mike Williams getting involved, and Taya driving that day was brilliant on Misano. Really enjoyed it, didn't
Yeah.
you? And that's it. Every stream's different, right? Some days are going to be easy, some days will be tough for different reasons, I guess. Real challenge.
That's the only day Toby and Julia were not tuning in.
Oh, they missed out on the big one there.
Sorry, you
Yeah.
What were they? Oh, they were having paella. I hope you enjoyed your paella.
Yeah, right. I hope it tasted real good.
No, I really mean it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not being sarcastic.
No,
He's trying to make it sound like I'm sarcastic. I'm just.
Right. And then, what have we got here? Oh, Suzuka. This is important.
This is when I won my last medal.
This is obviously from. Why am I not getting a desktop audio there? Interesting.
You can see the setup is a little bit better as well. I've changed the chat. It's more like.
No desktop
I
audio
like
there.
it.
What do you reckon? Oh, there we go. There's a bit of desktop
Yeah.
audio.
It's just not very loud.
I guess. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Look, there you go.
Ooh,
There you go. That's better.
it's a
So
bit
yes,
better.
this is
I
Taya
could have been a bit wider.
getting, as you can see in the top right corner, her
Ooh.
very last, and the last turn was the fast
Going
one.
to the fastest
The
turn.
fastest turn was the last one for her
Oh my
last
God, oh
medal.
my
You can see
God,
the track
is
rating
this
is
the
98. Here's 130R at Suzuka.
Oh
Close
my
your
God,
eyes.
I-
6th
I think I
gear.
might have shitted
Little
that
bit
one.
cozy on the inside, but I know how
Just
pressuring that was because I was struggling when I got my medals. They were hard, the last ones. And
I
that is
just
it,
made
99.
Am I stopping? I
You
can
can see
my
the
track
relief
again,
on my
so
face.
rating man next.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, have I made it?
Awesome.
I
And that's
love
all
it.
within 3 weeks, and you've learned so many tracks, and yeah, it's been great. So there we go.
I've just made it.
There's some of your
Okay.
best bits.
I know all the track from the.
What's this Silverstone one about? Why you got this out for you?
No, I had it out because
Yeah,
I don't know.
You had it out. Okay, cool.
Oh,
So
the best moment? I don't know.
that was all the best moments. Yeah, we got
Hungara, I really enjoyed Hungara.
yeah, Hungaroring was
In
a
the
lot of
night,
fun.
it was very challenging because it was in the night time because I forgot to take the acceleration of the time, and I really enjoyed it in the end. It was very rewarding because it felt more challenging than any other tracks, and also I was already struggling before that, and I didn't give up. I don't know, it was really rewarding. Everywhere in a good position and got speed maneuvered into lower level of the pack.
I think there's one where you're in the pits and came out quite far back because of the penalties.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a race where I can't remember where it was.
You said Laguna, we got penalties. I'm not sure.
Oh, Laguna was awful
And Bathurst,
because what
did you get
happened?
penalty?
Jeff wasn't here, so Jeff was still in South Africa, or maybe traveling back. I can't remember.
I was travelling there, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, traveling there. I basically crashed and I had to go into the pit lane. I managed to go into the pit lane while holding my. Oh no, I don't know. my steering wheel wouldn't turn one way. Even if I turned the steering wheel, it wouldn't go the car wouldn't go that way. So I missed the pit lane and had to go back on myself the other way around. And once I finally got into the pit lane, they told me there was 2 minutes 40 to fix my car, and I think there was 2 minutes 30 left. So I was like, well, I've obviously lost that race because I can't come out. So yeah, and then OBS crashed. So thankfully, you didn't see it, guys, because you didn't lose anything anyway. I lost that race. Yeah, but I had a few penalty because I like to bump.
Okay, so
Bump.
the last bits
Bumpy.
of your interview for the end of Series 1, Chasing
Lots of
Medals. It's been a
water.
wild ride, yeah, right? It's been a wild... Thanks everyone for tuning in for this long old chatty stream of ours. Like you said, there's going to be a hell of a lot of racing coming up, don't worry. So, what's next?
So, I've been working on my next 3 series, alright? We've got 3 series coming up. The first series is called Super Pole, and it's obviously going to be about going fast as we can, which is one of the things that I've really enjoyed recently, to beat my own time. So it's sort of going to be about practicing first, so a lot of practicing. Obviously a lot of chatting with you guys, going around the track, finding the breaking points, the last breaking point. So I've been talking with Jeff about things that will help me be the best or improve on the track, is brake as late as I can, so find really the last breaking point, take my turn a lot wider, always be on the full throttle or always be on the brake, and I can't remember the 4th one.
Be going through the turn as fast as possible.
Be going
Apex
through the turns
speed.
as fast as possible.
Yeah. Apex speed.
And yeah, take the right line. Just remember, be wide enough, because one of my...
Use the track limits.
And don't do granny hands.
No, you've got long past the granny hand, don't worry. Maybe if you get you a GT wheel, there'll just be 2 handles to hold. And that'll be it. You'll be letting go of it then. So there you go. Okay.
So yeah, so that's...
So what else?
What else?
What other series are you doing?
Oh, so Super Bowl is all about... So the way it's going to work, by the way, guys, Super Bowl and then the 3 series, I'm going to basically do the same track, but in 3 different series. So we're going to do it in different conditions. So Super Bowl is going to be in dry condition, but it's all about finding the edge and going fast. Then there's going to be the Night Call series, which I've named after the Drive song. I was going to sing it, but I'm going to be copyright if I do that. It's one of my favorite songs, and it's going to be in the night time, so I called it Night Call. So it's all about discovering the track at night, which track is pretty at night, which track you shouldn't be driving at night. I don't think Hungaroring, even though I've done it, is a night track because you can't see very much on there. Yeah, so it's going to be about discovering the tracks and also finding maybe new breaking point, because in the night you might not see the breaking point you were using.
It's a bit cooler.
And it will be a lot cooler as well, so you have to think about the grip that you've got, which is going to be obviously decreased. So yeah, it's going to be interesting in so many ways, but I think most likely going to be interesting because you can't see your breaking point.
Mm-hmm. And at the end of these 3
And
series, and then you also got another one.
Proper puddles.
Proper puddles.
So puddles happen when it's raining, so it's going to be raining. We're going to have a wet raining series. So for example, tomorrow we're starting with Monza. We're going to go on the Super Bowl on Tuesday. On Wednesday, it's obviously the day I upload my video, so there won't be any streaming. But on Thursday, we're going to be on... Have we picked wet? Or I can't remember now.
So we're doing
Proper,
super, proper, and then night.
Yeah, so we're going to go into the wet, and then we're going to finish with the night.
Mm-hmm.
I have planned it all, actually. Look, I've done my little... Ooh. So Tuesday... Super Bowl Monza, and then we're going to go on to Proper Puddles, and then we're going to go on to Night Call. So on Friday, I'll be doing a Monza in the night time. And then we're going to go on to Barcelona, and etc. So we're going to do all these tracks in 2 different conditions. It's going to be awesome. And also, I'm going to be super ready for online racing, because when I'll be at the start and it'll be nighttime and everyone will be crying in their car because they haven't done Hungaroring at night, they haven't done Barcelona at night.
In the wet.
I have done it. And I have this advantage over you because I have done it in the wet. Don't worry, I have done it too. What will I have not done? I basically am training really hard to get ready to go online. That's gonna be it. I don't want to sound pretentious. I just want you to understand it's important to practice in all conditions.
Yeah, definitely. You're gonna be ready. Big tune.
The Nürburgring, when she said she would be happy with the 220 and set the time of 20 and 23. Oh, I should have added that. I should have listed that. I should have worked harder on my best moment, to be honest.
Thank you, Shortmaster. So.
I didn't know the question he was going to
So you're gonna do the 3 series, and then after that, what do you want to do?
Offline career. I basically want to finish this game, and then I would really like some new DLC, so some new tracks. So potentially have to go back to some medals. Yes, why not? And then, are you going to start TikTok clips for sim racing? It's funny you say that because someone at work, my 2 bosses at work, they told me I should start a TikTok account, and their
if that's where people want to find her, then that's where we'll be, I guess.
Yes, but I was saying it's about dancing and singing, no, mostly.
No, it's all sorts of randomness. It's literally anything,
right.
Especially a tiny YouTube.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so what about after the 3?
Yeah,
You've got offline career. And what
offline
else?
career. And then obviously online racing.
Dun, dun,
and
dun.
once I'm comfortable with my own online racing, then I want to start community racing. So I want to invite people.
I think people will want to race with you pretty soon. So
yes, people want to crash with me, I think.
Potentially. So yes, a lot of that coming up. That'd be great to see. Okay, and then what about after that? Wednesday night uploads. So every Wednesday you upload a video. There's no live stream on Wednesday. You upload a video.
It's going to be all sorts of randomness. I promise you. So it's going to be for you to find out a bit about my setup, for example. So that's going to be this Wednesday. It's going to be a really short video just to show you a bit my steering wheel that you've already seen in a video, my screen, where I do it in my house, type of thing. My very unorganized room. You're also going to see the exercise I do in the gym for especially for sim racing and for like go-karting, because right before we go go-karting we normally tend to do a few exercises around the arms for me to not have a complete disadvantage against the boys.
And obviously, Game of Muscle was talking about direct drive wheels earlier. You know how strong they are.
Yes.
Use one of them.
Yeah,
Jimmy Broadbent was talking about the muscle he's gained here because when you're holding something, it's very strong.
And I've got small arms, so it's good to try and
the resistance
tune that up.
The resistance on a direct drive wheel can be exactly the same as it would be in a real car. So you can imagine how heavy it is to pull, and you get exactly the same kind of feel. So yeah, Tyson Fury style. She's actually going to dominate from the bottom to the top for sure. Maybe she wasn't quite as low as Tyson got, but yeah, same sort of thing, I guess. Okay, so other than that, any other Wednesday night stuff? You happy with all that?
Well, it's gonna be more on me, and then it's also gonna be all about. Obviously, I've done the HUD. There's still the bottom
learning
half.
ACC. Yeah, you got a few more.
I've learned. I felt so lost a few times. The few first times I used the game, I want to make sure that if there's anyone that's beginning to play the game, will have something to refer to. And I know sometimes you think, oh, this is a stupid question, but sometimes I see in chat people asking these questions. So I'm thinking, why not having my videos that could help beginners to learn the game, and also maybe I'll be doing some lab guide. Who knows? I quite enjoy watching lab guides. They really help me to progress. So if I can help someone doing Nürburgring, let's say, because that's the only one I managed to smash the time, I could upload a lab guide of Nürburgring. That could be cool.
Definitely. Okay, nice one. So, and also any suggestions from the crowd, anyone who's still awake, if you want to send in any suggestions now or in the comments in the video after, on what you'd like to see on the Wednesday night uploads, anything from a sort of 5-minute to hour video really, whether we can handle. Different things, it could be maybe trying out different games, so the Formula 1 game could be popping up on a Wednesday night upload. You might want to live stream that.
No, I will be trying Formula 1 game.
So things like that on a Wednesday night, if anyone has any suggestions for what we could do, it'll be all sorts of stuff we'll try then. That's the idea at the moment anyway, so I look forward to hearing from that. Just for the fun of it, answer one of Jeff's questions in French. Yeah, no, she does it when she's angry, so if I upset her enough, you'll get it for sure. Don't worry, Shortmaster. Okay. Next one. What about other sim racing games then? That kind of leads us on. So you mentioned Formula 1.
Mhm.
Anything else?
So I've tried Rally.
Rally 2.
Yeah, Rally 2, and it was. I think I'll have to keep that for later when I'm really good at racing. I want to try iRacing because everyone is constantly going on about it. GT Sport.
It's on a PlayStation. Not really that
I won't
exciting.
be able to try it then.
Well, not in a hurry.
No, because I'm an Xbox girl. I want to try racing room.
Race Room.
Race room.
Yeah.
So just getting into this, but at my own pace, and it's.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover in just one game at the moment. It's not even a big
I
game.
was
ACC,
overwhelmed
so.
with ACC, so.
And in French?
I can't even speak French anymore.
Oh, she's a fake French person. Her passport's been revoked.
Non.
She has no passport.
Je sais toujours parler français. Je sais juste pas. Ça fait. It's been 10 years. 10 years I lived in the UK.
Don't start talking about how it's been 10 years.
Je sais plus parler. My mom says my accent has changed as well. I sound like a British trying to speak French. So,
or Polish, according to Game of Muscle.
Oh,
yeah.
Polish, yeah. That's a new one. I've heard German before. Oh, you sound German. Or Swedish, I've been told, but Polish never. So just maybe listing the game, I can do that. So, Project Car, we would say. Project Car. Et tu veux jouer Project Car avec moi?
Ah oui.
On se fait une partie? Allez, hop, hop, hop.
Je vais jouer le Project Car.
And then Formula 1. Not Formula 1. Formula 1. Formula 1. Les voitures.
And Michael Schumacher.
Michael.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. So I think we are getting very close to the end now. The last thing, obviously, just building this community, right? Spreading the word. What should we do?
What should we do?
Like and subscribe, people. If you're probably not going to watch this, especially not to this part. If you have, you're certainly a special guy. Thank you.
What should we do? Well, it's a work that you need to be doing every day on all different channels to try and get yeah. Obviously, anyone that's watching now needs to spread the word. Spread the word. Spread the word.
Spread the word, please.
That's the number one thing. You need to spread the word. We're just trying to build a community here, so it's all peace and love. We want.
Yeah, preferably. We don't really need any negativity.
I might crash into your car, but I didn't mean it. I won't be in my car like, why did you do this? I won't be like this. I will be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I think you see me profusely apologizing when I'm bumping into an AI car, and I'm apologizing to the car.
Last question flying in here. Shortmaster wants to know what difference you think is between ACC and Project Cars 2, PZC.
So I've played Project Car, and I think you are going really slow, or at least you feel like you're going really slow.
I was playing it today and it felt the same.
And also, why am I going through some really weird graphics? Once you've played ACC, it's kind of, you've got some standards that you're expecting to find in all other games. Now, that being said, Project Car is a great game because I was playing it before ACC.
There's a lot of variety, got a lot of tracks.
Yes, yeah.
The old ones, the classic Monza, old cars, all sorts of random.
And I was driving an LMP around, and I remember having a lot of fun driving LMP around Spa. So it's a great game. It's just once you've tried ACC, you can like, I love the graphics. I love ACC so much.
Okay, so I think that kind of concludes everything we wanted to talk about. Wrapping up season 1 of Chasing Medals. Congratulations again on your wonderful achievement. Round of applause, everyone, for what has been a remarkable journey so far into the world of sim racing. Long may it continue. That's my cat. No!
That's not your cat.
My god, that is so bad. So more importantly, tomorrow night, back to reality.
Super Pool. Woo.
Where?
Monza.
Yeah, so hopefully we can be seeing some hot time. I mean, you already had a little crack the other day and got it down to 153 at Monza already in our third week of sim racing, which is pretty special. So I think you're going to be really pushing it And yeah, thank you, Shortmaster. Pleasure. Thank you, Toby, and anyone else who tuned in this evening and in the future. Thank you for watching.
He's great. I should just hire him and just start and end my video.
No, I'm never here. I'm gone tomorrow. I'm not here tomorrow, guys, so I can't do any of that, unfortunately. Just the reality of things.
Oh, thanks, Shortmaster. We're looking forward to that
Yeah.
too.
You missing the racing already?
Thanks, Julia.
Are you missing the racing?
I'm missing the racing. Yes,
Yeah.
I think I might be doing a few laps after this.
Do you want to do a victory lap of Mazzano for your fans?
Oh yes, of course. I want to do a victory lap.
Okay, let's see how quickly we can get this on the go, shall we? What we got here?
Shortmaster, you will see Jeff behind the wheel because obviously we have decided that we will be doing an endurance race, and we are going to do that properly. You know, we have one seat, so
yeah, endurance racing would be great.
Struggling when we're going to have to swap seat. I'll be like, my foot is stuck, help me, and he'll be just pulling me out, and then I'll be throwing it in.
Yeah, it's going to be intense. You'll see what the rig is made up of soon on the video, and yeah, it's oh, my hair is amazing. The rig is a bit cozy, should we say? It's a bit tight in here, so getting in and out with speed and changing the pedals is going to be hilarious. But I think doing a couple of endurance races, 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours. Yeah, 24-hour endurance race, 24-hour endurance race, live streamed all the way through. Can you imagine? We have to do it for charity.
Oh my god, it can't stop.
Alzheimer's?
Yes. So my grandma has Alzheimer, and I see that a lot of sim races do that. They raise money for charity, and I would really like to be participating into giving for Alzheimer. So that's something I've got on my mind, and if I get there somewhere, I can do that.
Yeah, when you get lots of viewers on YouTube, start doing that kind of stuff. That'd be great.
But we're not there yet. It's just a dream that I have got among, becoming a girl part of a championship with another team of girls. Smashing it away.
Okay, and just that's it. We'll just do a confirm. Actually, let's swing the time up on this one, shall we? There we go. 48. Okay.
What am I doing?
So I think
Green light, show them what you got.
Oh,
quick race, yeah, you wish. No, but we're certainly going to get Tara to show us a little bit of what she's been enjoying in the last few days. So, no pressure. Just showing people at home a little bit of what she's been Well, there you go, that's how much she'd have to fit names to start. Here we go, guys, this is it. There you go, on the track at Milano. Really big two right now. Live the goal. And another two right, and then two there we go, it's all coming back. Guys like, it's on the track. Car audio too loud, yeah. Yeah, we thought we could bang up the car audio for this one. Sorry, Sean, it is a bit loud. I noticed what you're saying. We'll turn it down a bit. Thank you. There you go, let's put that out. Okay, off you go. Sim Racer. So obviously Theamusante is coming up to, what's it, turn number 6 probably, aren't they? Quite a few. She powers her way through the weird turn. She powers her way through the weird turn, coming up to the full speed right, braking into a 2. And you can see by the use of her lips there that she's quite fully in concentration.
Jeff does not like when I bite my lip.
Oh no, it's a good sign that she's fully working this out. So as she comes up to the farthest this part of the track, looking to really nail this part of the course here at Misano. Certainly a favourite amongst the fans and really scary for the MotoGP drivers who come here. She pulls her way through it, makes a lovely braking line and takes all of the apex for that one, lets herself feed out for the one finish. Look at that, eating apexes for fun. This is a marked improvement we're seeing from Theamusante from her start in sim racing only 3 weeks ago now. Incredible scene. The fact that she also does this while presenting to a live stream is something to really, I think, take some credit for. As she pulls herself over to the left hand side of the track for the first turn. Feeds it in as a fast 3 and it slows to a 2.
This is a great track.
But you can see the exit. Oh, and she overfeeds it because she's having fun a bit now. She'll be doing granny hand soon, guys.
Anyway, hope you enjoyed today, guys. It was a bit different because obviously it's been a week since a month since we started. I started streaming, and I just wanted to mark the end of Series 1 with a bang. It won't be like this. Oh my god! It won't be like this for every series. I promise. but
when you've done the next 3, I think.
No.
They'll finish together. When those 3 finish together, we'll do another one, and that'll be a while away.
I don't know if I want to do another one.
I do.
Is it?
I want to do one. Get me on the camera.
I guess we need to finish this video here because we have some argument to be having.
Yep. On that note, everyone has been emotional.
It has. Thanks for tuning in, and I see you all tomorrow at Monza.
Yeah. I'll see you on stream.
You see me on stream.
I'll see you on stream. Let's end that.